Nature is endlessly fascinating. The ability of marine mammals to survive diving to extreme depths underwater brings out many intriguing questions about extreme physiology. In today's episode, we'll take a look at the unique physiology of blue whales by studying how their heart handles extreme dives, and see how scientists were able to actually measure their heart rates out in the natural world. Blue whales, or Balaenoptera musculus, are the largest creatures to ever have lived on Earth. Everything about them is big, even compared to other very large whale species, and that is true of their heart, which weighs in at about 180 kilograms in adults. Their primary food source is krill, small crustaceans that often look like small shrimp that live in large swarms in every ocean. Blue whales hunt krill by swallowing large amounts of water, then trapping krill by straining that water through their balines. To gain enough to eat, blue whales repeatedly dive to the depths where krill are. This leads us to the question of how does their heart survive dives to these enormous depths and pressures, and indeed, the simple question of just what are the heart rates of blue whales. With humans, we can easily wear an optical heart rate monitor like seen on many watches, or measure our heart patterns, electrocardiographs or ECGs, using electrodes. But just consider for a minute, how would you possibly go about doing this with a blue whale? There are none in captivity, unlike smaller whales like orcas and belugas. So you have to track them out in the open ocean and tag them in the brief time that they are at surface with a small boat without getting swamped by their massive movement and wake. You also have to design an ECG system that can survive tremendous pressure, figure out where best to put it on a whale's body to get the best signals, and design suction cups that can hold under their skin. Oh, and you also have to figure out a way for it to detach and to receive it. This is the hidden genius behind science that most people don't consider. In 2019, Goldbogen managed to do exactly this, tagging and tracking a male blue whale for 8.5 hours with an ECG. This included many foraging and non-foraging dives of up to 16.5 minutes and up to 180 meters deep underwater, where pressures are nearly 20 times greater than what we experience at sea level. On the graph, you can see the average heart rate at different stages, from descent, lunging for food, filtering, ascent, and again at surface. Look at the extremely wide range, from less than 10 beats a minute to over 30. Indeed, the lowest recorded heart rate was 2 beats a minute, and the highest 40 beats a minute. The data gets even more interesting when looking in detail. Here is data of depth and heart rate over the course of one single dive of about 12 minutes, with 4 lunges upward to attack krill in orange and dropping deeper while filtering in blue. We see transient spikes in heart rate during lunging, and again while ascending, showing that it's not an even pattern throughout each phase. These fine details give scientists insight not just into blue whale activity, but also ideas on how to examine and model how their physiology and the cardiovascular system works. So this really cool study helps us fill in the blanks about blue whales. We now know their maximum and minimum heart rates, which by itself is fascinating. While max heart rate in humans is only about 5 times higher than minimum heart rate, in blue whales it's 20 times. What are the control systems that make this much greater range and capacity possible? And what about the physics of the blood vessels? With such low heart rates and massive pressures, how do the blood vessels keep from collapsing? And with such long dives, intense activity, and low heart rates, how do cells get enough oxygen throughout dives? I hope that you've enjoyed this deep dive into the fascinating world of environmental physiology. I'm Professor Stephen Chung, and I'm the Director of the Environmental Ergonomics Lab in the Department of Kinesiology at Brock University. We post new videos on different topics in environmental physiology every Wednesday. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.